Hello and welcome to the show. Round 15. So, are we all tonight? Are we good? Now that we're starting to really come out of lockdown now, things are starting to get back to some kind of normality after 4 months of this. So, hope you're all good tonight and enjoying. If you're in Scotland, in central Scotland, hope you've been enjoying the fantastic weather we've had today. So, we've got a belter of a show for you tonight. Coming up, we have Dr. Yvonne Mitchel talking health coaching. Okay, so if you're interested in finding out about health coaching, watch out for Dr. Yvonne's interview coming shortly. Also tonight we'll have some more gentle movement, and we're going to be doing a bit of Western style movement this time. So you'll need to get yourself, if you can, get yourself a couple of tins of beans or soup or fruit salad, which will aid you in the exercise. But if you don't have any tins, don't worry. Just do the movement. It's all about being in your body as a form of meditation. Now, for those of you who are watching this for the first time, our show is also backed up to YouTube, the same channel name, Vincent Anthony Media. I'll just dial in my little logo down here. If you go into YouTube and type in Vincent Anthony Media, you'll see all our previous shows to date. And we also, now that we're into week 15, 16, we have a following of people who join us most week, and they're called the Raconteurs, and they come on this message box down here, and they say hello, and they can also communicate with me, they can communicate with each other. That's the reason why we do this as a live show, because it's interactive. That's the beauty of it. And already we have our first resident raconteur, William Ritchie. Welcome to the show, William. William's one of the regulars. So welcome to the show, William. And we also have regulars from all over Scotland and indeed the world. People are watching this show in Australia and America as well as Europe. And we've got viewers from Fife, and we've got viewers from Edinburgh, and they'll join us at some point later on, and they'll say hello. So we're going to start before we go into our exercises and our guest report. I'm going to do a few announcements that I do. And first of all, if you're watching the show, and if you think I'd quite like to have a go at doing my own show, if you're a Mac user, you can go into my website there, and it's all on the first homepage. You can click on the eCam tab, and that will be on your way to trying your own broadcasting shows. Also, if you'd like to donate to the show, if you'd like to do something for mental health, but not quite sure what to do, again, go into this website on the front page. Everything's on the home page, so you can't get lost. You don't have to go into complicated menus, and you can donate to the show if you want. And also, if you're a business and you'd like to advertise your logo on the screen, live streaming is one of the best ways to advertise your product or service. You can get in touch, and we can put your logo up on the screen as well if you'd like to take advantage of what we're doing here to get your company or your brand across. So that's our announcements. Now tonight, before we go into our reports, when I used to instruct classes, I used to always have a bit of theory stroke philosophy. So tonight I thought what we'd do is we'd cover something called CBT, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, or Cognitive Behavioral Technique. And this is a technique that was developed as early as the 60s, the 70s by psychologists and psychiatrists. And it was a new technique which you would probably call talking therapy. It was a new technique to see if they could help people suffering from anxiety and depression without giving them medication. Now, I would say, in my opinion, this is fine for mild anxiety, stress, depression. But if you've got severe stress or anxiety or depression, I would say CBT works well with with the right medication. Okay, so what is CBT? I'm going to give you a couple of simple examples. Okay, now and it's important to be aware of CBT because you can use it to just make your life better. It enhances your communication skills, and it stops things like cross wires from happening. And I'm so glad I know about CBT because I use it all the time. And I'm going to give you an example of what happens to me and probably what happens to you as well. And here's how to use CBT. Okay. Now imagine you are going to the supermarket. You're in the supermarket and you see your your good friend Jimmy. Okay, you see him. He's coming towards you down the aisle, and you're about to say, "Hello, Jimmy. How's it going?" And Jimmy just doesn't even make eye contact. There's no facial expression. He just goes straight past you, and you think, "Oh, that wasn't very nice. I didn't quite like that." And then you start to ruminate and start thinking, "Well, did I do something to upset him? Oh my goodness, maybe that thing I said on Facebook about the football team, maybe it's gone and upset him, or maybe he just doesn't like me anymore. You know what? In fact, I'm going to cut him off my Facebook page. That'll show him for ignoring me in the supermarket." Okay. Now you see how it's caused you to behave in a negative way towards Jimmy, and Jimmy actually hasn't done anything to you. All he's done is he's been in his own little world and he's gone past you. But you might take that as an offence. Okay. So how do we use CBT? Imagine if we could rewind the clock back just before you go into the supermarket, and imagine if you've got this little imp on your shoulder, okay, and it can talk to you and you can hear it. So you're walking along the supermarket aisles, and Jimmy's coming your way, and this imp says to you, "By the way, just to let you know, Jimmy's been a bit down on his luck recently. He's just lost his job. He's in debt, and his wife's just announced she wants to leave him." Okay, that way you would perceive Jimmy, you would cognize Jimmy in a different way, in a more sympathetic way. You would probably think thoughts like, "Oh, how sad! That's awful. I feel so bad for Jimmy." You think, and he'd walk past you, ignoring you exactly as he did before in the previous timeline. But this time, instead of you reacting to body language and to being ignored, you act in a more positive way by not reacting. You could maybe say to yourself, "Well, actually, I'll leave it for a few days, and I'll send him an email or a message on Messenger and say, 'How's it going? Are you okay?'" And you see how that situation has completely changed. Your timeline has completely changed. So you're still friends with Jimmy. He's not been offended. You've not been offended. All because you knew about how to use um, cognitive behavioral technique. Okay, so that's one way you can use it to so that you don't get cross wires with people and don't cause yourself and others more misery. Okay, let's look at the CBT model from the point of view of if you are suffering from stress, anxiety, depression. So I'm just going to dial in this model here. And this is the model that I used to use when I was instructing mindfulness classes. And the CBT model is down below. The one above is just something I threw in for extras, just to remind folks who are new to meditation what the purpose of meditation is, which is to relax the body, reboot the brain so that you can refocus on what you should have been doing instead of being lost in autopilot or lost in overthinking or ruminating about negative things that cause you to go on that downward spiral of mental illness, which leads to physical illness and so on. Okay, but the model before, the model underneath is our CBT model, and it's very simple. At the top, we've got thoughts. Remember, folks, thoughts are actually the source of all anxiety. Believe it or not, thoughts, conscious thoughts and unconscious thoughts, are actually the source of all anxiety. Now, I know for those of you that have got severe anxiety, you may be thinking, "Well, I've changed my thoughts, but I still feel the same." It's not as simple as that. If you've watched our previous shows, you'll know that changing your thoughts influences the neural networks in your brain, and that can take months, probably years, to change your neural networks before that's changed your mood. Okay, so it starts with thoughts, which then affects your mood stroke feelings, and they actually affect your behaviors, which then, and you're on this kind of cycle. Now, it can be a positive cycle or a vicious cycle, depending on how you're using this model. And also, this model is non-linear. Okay, but let's just take a simple example of, imagine you're a person who's agoraphobic and you've got an OCD fear of being near people. Now, there are hundreds of thousands of people on the planet right now who are suffering, and their only way to do their shopping is to go to the 24-hour supermarkets, and they'll do their shopping at 2 o'clock in the morning to avoid people. Okay, there are people who avoid going on buses or public transport because of the same reason. They just can't stand being near people for whatever particular OCD reason. So let's look at the person that's suffering. Okay, so their thoughts will be, oh my goodness, I can't go to the supermarket this afternoon. There will be people there. Okay, so that's the thought. The mood stroke, the feeling is one of adrenaline. The fight or flight will kick off. So they're actually feeling the dread and the fear. The behavior is that they avoid going to the supermarket. Okay? Which then leads to the thoughts of, oh, good, I'm not going to the supermarket. I don't have to be near people, which then affects the mood, the feelings, which is one of relief. And the negative behavior is that person avoids their fear. They stay in, closing themselves behind closed doors. And if they continue down that cycle, yes, they'll get temporary relief, but they're actually making themselves even more ill and more ill. And this OCD behavior will become bigger and bigger, and it'll start to grow legs and arms, and soon it'll be a fear of going on the bus, then it'll be a fear of going out to take the bin out. And that's how it happens. Okay, so let's look at what happens when a person knows how to use the CBT model. Okay, so they decide that enough's enough. They're sick to death of this phobia. They're sick to death of their life going nowhere. They're sick to death of rock bottom, thinking, I'm going to make a change in my life. So the thought is, I'm going to go out to the supermarket. Now, in the afternoon, with people. This affects the mood, the feelings, which will bring on the dread and the fear. But the behavior this time is that person is dragging themselves to the supermarket, even though they've got fear. When they get to the supermarket, the thoughts are firing off of, oh, this is awful. I'm going to have a panic attack. I'm going to faint. The anxiety, which affects their anxiety, the anxiety is going to be kicking off. But the behaviors that are now in the supermarket. Now, what they've done is they've now faced their fear. And even although it feels horrible and terrible, they're actually aware that they're getting better. They're actually not letting their mental health dictate their life. Okay? So what happens is the next day, that person who's already done it, they've faced their fear, they feel the fear and do it anyway, which is the name of a book I recommend. I think it's by Susan Jeffers. Feel the fear and do it anyway. And just the title of the book gives you the essence of the technique. So the next day, you have the thoughts of, right, I'm going to go to the supermarket, but oh my goodness, I'm going to have to face people. But this time, the mood, the feelings are still of fear and anxiety, fight or flight still kicking off, but maybe not as much, maybe a very slight diminishing of those feelings. The behaviors, the person goes to the supermarket. The thoughts are, day 2, well, I'm here and it's not so bad. I'm not having a panic attack. I'm managing to get what I want. If I can just get to the checkouts and get out, that's me done it. And that's them starting to change their thoughts. And that's ultimately changing the neural pathways in your brain. It's called neuroplasticity of the brain. The brain can move. It's a muscle. And if you exercise it, you can grow parts and you can shrink parts. You can grow the parts that help you keep calm, and you can shrink the parts that are the limbic system, the fight or flight system. The parts that make you panic, you can actually shrink them the more you change your thoughts and your behaviors. And so what's happening now is the behaviors are taking the lead. The behaviors, that person is going to the supermarket during the afternoon, facing their fears. They're affecting their thoughts and their feelings. So that's why this model is not necessarily completely linear. And that's the CBT model. And in the past, when I've had classes, I have had classmates that once they've done the mini module on CBT, they've actually come back to me and said, yeah, I can go to public transport now. I haven't done that for ages, and I wasn't panicking too much. So it does work. CBT's really amazing. And I'm going to give you a quote from a book many, many years ago, possibly 30 years ago. I got this book by Dr. Burns, and his book, I would highly recommend it. Um, and I'm just going to give you a quote from this book. It's called Feeling Good by Dr. Burns. I think it's David D. Burns, and the title of the book is Feeling Good, and it's still selling today in your high street bookstores. It's a really good book, and Dr. Burns was one of the early pioneers of CBT, so I would recommend that book. So I'm just going to give you a quick quote from Dr. Burns' book, and he says, the first principle of cognitive therapy is that all your moods are created by your cognitions or thoughts. A cognition refers to the way you look at things, your perceptions, mental attitudes, and beliefs. It includes the way you interpret things, what you say about something or someone to yourself. You feel the way you do right now because of the thoughts you are thinking right now. So there you are. And again, once the show's over, I recommend that you rewind and just play that little bit back again, and start using CBT in your own life if you feel that can help you. So what we're going to do is we're going to get on with our gentle movement. Now, we feel stress and anxiety in the body, so that's why we work with the body as well when we were doing mindfulness classes. So it's all about being in your body for the next 10 minutes or so, rather than lost in overthinking, thinking about the past, thinking about the future, or just general lost in thought. And that's what we call autopilot. So this is a Western style exercise we're going to do. So if you've got time, run to the larder, get yourself a couple of tins of beans or something. But again, you don't need it. If you don't have any tins of food or anything, just simply follow the movement instructions on the video, and try for the next 10 minutes to observe your body and listen to the nice relaxing music while you're doing this. So see how you get on. Let's run VT. Here we go. Now for this exercise, I normally use free weights, but if you don't have free weights at home, you can use a tin of baked beans. These will do. So just join in the exercise with me, and again remember, it's all about being in your body rather than autopilot. So if you've got thoughts coming in, come back to your exercise, okay? So let's begin, and this exercise will take approximately 15 minutes. So just join in with me. Let's start with the biceps. $13, $15, $20, $27, $28, $29, and 30. Relax, recover. Now we'll start with the legs. Bend the legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Join in with me. 15. 20, 23, 24, 25, and relax, recover, just breathe in the present moment. Next exercise, arms out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and continue. 20. And 30, and pause, recover, relax, just breathe. Start to be aware of the temperature in the room. Is it warm? Is it cold? Is it medium? Mindfulness is all about developing your awareness skills. Okay, next exercise, we go back to the legs. We break up all the upper body exercises with the lower. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Continue. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and relax, recover, just breathe. Breathe normally in the present moment, that's it. Recover, relax. Okay, next exercise, arms come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, continue. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Relax, recover, just breathe. Back to the legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, continue. 25, and rest. Relax, recover, just breathe. Oh, that's good. Relax. Next exercise, you boxer. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, continue. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Relax, recover, just breathe. Oh, in the present moment. Okay, legs again. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and relax, recover. Just breathe. There we are. Relax, recover. Next exercise, arms out and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue. Any stray thoughts coming in, come back to your body. "28, 29, and 30. Relax, recover. Just breathe. Oh, in the present moment. There we are. Relax, recover. Okay, legs again. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and relax, recover. Just breathe. There we are. Relax and recover. Just breathe. There we are. Okay, next exercise. Back to biceps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Relax, recover. Whew, just breathe in the present moment. Relax. Okay, back to the legs. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and relax, recover. Just breathe. There we are. Breathe. Relax. Next exercise, arms up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue. 28, 29 and 30. Relax, recover. Just breathe. Oh, relax. There we are. Back to legs. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Continue. Twenty, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and relax, recover, just breathe. Oh, and remember, any stray thoughts coming in to your mind, you come back to your body, come back to the tins of beans. Okay, next exercise, legs slightly apart, bend the knees, okay, and the arms are going to come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 and 30. Relax, recover. Oh, just breathe normally. Oh. Relax. In the present moment. Okay, back to legs. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 and 30. Relax, recover, just breathe. Oh, relax. Okay, we're going to do another boxer move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue. 27, 28, 29 and 30. Relax, recover, just breathe. Relax. In the present moment. Next exercise, again, legs slightly apart. Bring your hands down and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, get those elbows up. 5, as far as you can. 6, continue. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and relax, recover, just breathe. Again, you find any thoughts coming in, any stray thoughts, come back to your body. Okay, back to legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, continue. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Relax, recover. Just breathe normally. There we are. Just relax. And now for our final upper body exercise. Join in with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, front, 7, back, 8, front, 9, back, 10, front. Continue. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Relax, recover, just breathe. In the present moment. And always remember, any stray thoughts coming in, come back to your body. There we are. How did you get on? Did you manage to join in and be in your body? And just come out of thought, just for a short while. That's the trick. That's a good mindfulness practice. So what I'm wondering is, sorry, we lost picture there. This is live, and I was meant to go to my multi-camera, but my camera's cut out. So I was going to do a fancy mix to another camera, but it didn't work. That serves me right for trying to do a live show. Anyway, we don't need the second camera. So yes, I hope you enjoyed that form of Western gentle movement. Next week we'll maybe be doing some work with the mats. So you'll maybe need your yoga mats for next week's exercise. So, I'm wondering, where are our raconteurs tonight? I think they're all out enjoying the sun. It's just me and you, William. As far as I can see, we need to get these other raconteurs saying hello. I don't know where they're hiding tonight, but I'm hoping to hear from our raconteurs from Edinburgh and Fife. So, apart from that, it's just you and me, William, I think. So, William, my viewer from West Lothian, if you're ready, let's listen to what Dr Yvonne Mitchel had to say to me earlier last week about health and health coaching. Run VT. And today we welcome Dr Yvonne Mitchel to the show, and Dr Yvonne is a health coach. Welcome to the show, Yvonne.
Pleased to be here.
And my first question to Yvonne is, Yvonne, tell us about your company and some examples of the kinds of problems that people come to you with.
Well, it is health coaching, and of course people have issues with their health, but normally sometimes as well they feel they've got issues with other things. Like, say, for example, a person might have issues with their golf, but truly it is really maybe anger issues, then that affects their health. And so basically they come to me to sort out something specific and go away getting something different, because, you know, they're getting help with the real root cause of what's going on. And that's what I do with most people. It's about the root cause of what's happening with their health, and it can show itself up in many different ways. And as I say, anger and frustration and stress and so on. So I do help a lot of people in that way.
Now, Yvonne, before you became a health coach, were you doing something different?
Yes, I was. I worked for many years from I was a teenager for a good 25 years with children, and I worked with them in different communities, usually quite run-down communities, to be fair, and also youth in communities at night as well, you know, doing some youth work. So yeah, I worked that for a long time and I loved it. Totally loved what I'd done. You got interacting with all the kids and then the parents as well, which gained me great experience for the next thing I was going to be doing. Didn't know that at the time, but I discovered that through time. So, you know, I really loved my job.
So, Yvonne, you loved your job, but what caused you to leave that and move on to something else, to become self-employed?
Yeah, well, I did love my job, but it came to a point where I had done that for so many years. I felt I had covered quite a lot of issues. I had sort of spent it out, if you want to put it that way. And I came to a decision right in my mind that there and then that this was no longer for me. And I knew, because I was working with children, I wasn't working in a shop where you would buy something and I could keep working there and think about it. I knew, because I was working with children, if my heart wasn't totally in it, then I'd have to change it for their sake as well as for mine. And truly I did. I approached my bosses who offered me, you know, part-time work. You know, I was there for a while. I knew quite a lot of things, but then I'd gathered up a lot of knowledge and through the years I'd been, you know, learning things, make mistakes, learning from them, and so on. So they offered me part-time, but I knew I couldn't do it at all. I thought I have to have a clean break. And I was taking chances because I kind of had no much an idea of what I was going to be doing next. I had looked at reflexology in my 20s, but because I took a job that was relevant to making money and, you know, with 2 kids and so on, and helping, you know, towards the finances and getting things, I thought, well, just take what job comes along. And that's what happened. And then I went to the children's thing and I done that. But, you know, that's when I decided, when I could no longer do it, even for the money, I'd have to leave. So basically, I did leave. But in leaving, just before I left, because I made the decision and I knew it was right in my heart, I really then decided I found people, which was really a thing. I found this person. I went to this course. She said there was a reflexology thing on at the college. I went along to that. I done Indian head massage from there. The college course was just the practical. There was no paperwork much. So then I just had got this thing come up my computer about reflexology course at a distance. So I decided to do my diploma with that. And because I'd done the practical, they both fitted in. So it was brilliant. I hardly had heard of some of these things. And I thought, oh, this is for me. You know, this is what I'm needing to do. This is what I'm going to do next. All along the way, I'm finding people who are helping me with my inner growth, inner personal development. So I'm finding courses or people, and you know, I made friends with people, and they came here to my cabin and had meditation evenings with me with other friends, and they brought people along. And I mean, I'd slightly touched on meditation when I was, you know, went to yoga when I was younger. And I thought, oh, this is a bit strange, you know. And then I thought, no, after a wee bit of practice of it, I felt it was really relaxing. It made me de-stress pretty quick. And so the practice of meditation has been with me for years now. I mean, I did do it on and off, changed it, and now do it constantly. It's something I have, it's something for me, and I just do it. It's not even I think it's like getting up and brushing your teeth. the meditations involved and that kind of thing. So that's been one of the best things I've came across, to be fair, that and my self-awareness. And self-awareness, I met a woman who I was doing colour therapy with one of the colour therapists in London. She's well known, Lillian Werner Bonds. I'd been there a few times at weekends. Some I was really interested in, and then I needed colour oil to do it with my reflexology. Met a Swedish woman who taught me more about my self-awareness. It just all opened up. So when you make a great decision and you know it's right in your heart, things open up for you, things start to change. So, you know, I would recommend that to anyone. If they're thinking about something and they know it's right, then go for it.
So I'm going to ask Yvonne a question that I ask many of our guests. Yvonne, can you tell us about any lived experience you've had in your life of either stress, anxiety or depression, and what you did to get yourself out of that?
Yes, well, like many people before awareness, I mean, I was a bit involved with stress, like maybe through personal things, mostly. Because I'm a family-oriented person, maybe most people are, but I've got a large family of like brothers and sisters. There's 7 of us. And I think because we lost our mum young, I take on the role, because I'm the oldest, of being, you know, the motherly role, having children and they all having children, and think that was quite stressful, you know, taking that on. Nobody asked me to take it on. I just stepped into that role. And I didn't realise how stressful it was becoming for me until it kind of got a wee bit much, because, like I say, there were 7 up and everybody was involved and I was their centre to come to. So basically, you know, I had all these issues because some of the family, you see it all, you hear it all, just about. And, you know, I decided for myself at that stage, something would need to change again. And that was about a few years later. And then again, I found like another person to teach me self-awareness. And when I found that, I realised that anything that I had brought upon myself, nobody had asked me to do. I'd simply done it, blamed other people for making me feel stressed, when truly the stress is within yourself. You're manifesting the stress. And when I understood that more, stress then was copable and more manageable, you know. So I really began to manage my stress a whole lot better. And of course, doing more meditation at that time as well. And then I learned more things for there.
So I'm going to ask Yvonne, can you give us 2 or 3 of your handy tips on how to deal with anxiety, because many of the people watching the show will be suffering various levels of anxiety, stroke, depression, stroke, stress.
Well, because of what I've learned and changed my outlook towards stress and anxiety in particular, things like that, I no longer blame situations. I take a look within myself. I've got to look deeply within myself, what's causing me to be stressed about a certain situation. So basically, so for the tip would be to look at why is you reacting to that stressful situation. And sometimes these stressful situations can be deep-rooted, or it can be a copied behaviour that you have picked up from carers or parents and so on. You know, I've got an example of that possibly with, you know, fear, which causes stress. Because if you have fear and you don't address it, it then turns into stress. And then if you don't address the stress, and then it turns into anxiety. Long gone has the fear, but then the anxiety is there and it's making you feel practically ill. But if you look at it and look at why you're getting stressed with certain situations, say for me, it was like, I've got an example, like I was fighting the cats, which seems very strange, but it was a long and deep-rooted childhood thing that I'd been told a story about. I believed the story. I was never frightened of cats. That was the illusion about fear. But, you know, because I thought about it in the wrong way, that, that wasn't very good for me. So basically, if you change your story and look at why you're getting stressed, look at the root cause, and really when you dissect it and look right into it, there is no really any stress. It's your mind making you feel or think things that are not true. So that's about awareness again.
So Yvonne also runs seminars on fear and stress. Yvonne, can you tell us a little bit about your seminars?
Yeah, I'm running them every Tuesday, first Tuesday of the month, for 6:15 to 7 o'clock. So they are fear and stress seminars. Again, I'm looking at examples where fear and stress come from, looking at the root cause, telling stories, because if you relate stories, people will relate them back to you, and they've got their own stories. So then when someone listens to that and then they talk it out, then they think, oh, wait a minute, this came from, my childhood, or, something comes up for them, and then the realization of that helps them with the stress. Because they can realize once they get to the cause of it, they can then change how they think about it. And that is massive help. So that's what I'm doing now with my seminars for fear and stress, because at this time, people are getting stressed about things that might not even be really true. Because we listen too much to what other people have to say about things. And we don't really truly listen to ourselves. People will say, yes, I do listen to myself. I'm my own person, and so on. No, absolutely not. Because even, I have learning about myself. And I think, where are the thoughts coming from? The thoughts are usually in the subconscious mind. They're there forever. You have like my fear of cats. I had it since I was a baby because somebody told me the story. I didn't get rid of it till recently because I got a cat and people had cats. And I sort of then think, I've got a cat. How's that possible? When I was terrified. I mean, we've all got fears, so we can understand other people's terror, but we can't understand their fear. Because often if you say, I'm frightened of spiders or mice, people are like, oh, how strange. But it's not strange to the person that's got it. The thing that's strange about it for me now is because they keep it so long. I've done it. They keep it so long, and there's a way of getting rid of that by changing your thoughts. And then that is quite a thing, but it's quite a simplified thing. But people really don't realise, change your thoughts and change your outlook, and then you have no stress. So that's what it's about.
So we're coming out of lockdown now. Yvonne, have you got any plans for the future with your work?
Oh yes. Now that I've got it going I've put more effort in it, to be fair. When the lockdown's been on, it's given me the opportunity to do a bit more on the work that I really want to do. So I've been learning new skills like, doing the Zoom call. That's new to me. I've had little issues with that, but then a tendency to just relax about it and then think this is going to work and then just give it another go. Thing about that is not to beat yourself up about anything that goes wrong. Just accept it and try it again. So basically, yes, I have plans to keep these seminars going up until January. And I've not seen beyond that as yet. So I'm going to do them till then, because that gives people the opportunity after COVID. There might be a lot of more people coming out and saying, I've got stress because of certain things that's been happening, to them personally. So that's why I'm keeping it going to that length of time. I've also got an ebook about tissue salts, which I've got taught from one of my teachers, my Swedish teacher, a long time ago. So it gives people an insight to different wee things that you can use, because you can't maybe go straight from being stressed to then think and get to the root cause, and sort it out. It can be done if you wanted to do it. You've got to get a coach, obviously, to help. But if you've got other things to help you in the meantime, so that's why I'm issuing that ebook about the tissue salts, to help people have a look at different areas that they can improve your health in any way you can. It's the only thing that we've got that doesn't cost us really anything by looking at ourselves, dealing with ourselves, really taking charge. I mean, because sometimes when we go to doctors, we sit there, we look at them, and we think they know it all. Nobody knows it all. I don't know it all. We have to learn for ourselves. We can read things, and what we do if we read things or listen to people, teachers that I've had, yeah, they've been fantastic. But I've listened, and then I've took my own take on that, and then I've helped myself in a great way to be healthy. I mean, really, really quite healthy. I've had issues, what more recently, but then I've realised why. I've looked at why I've had these issues, rather than say, oh, some people believe that if they're in a family, or, some mums or dad might say, you'll get a cold every year. And before you know it, you have a cold every year. And for you to change that, you need to know that's only a thought in subconscious. And it's stuck there, and you keep replaying it and replaying it. And you never really think for yourself and think, wait a minute, do I need to have this cold every year because somebody 30 years ago told me that that's the case? I mean, I'm no mothers and fathers like me. We do our best with what knowledge we have. So, I'm not criticising anyone because I've had to learn an awful lot about that myself. But once you know that thing, it helps tremendously in all areas of your life. And that's why, self-awareness for me is the top thing for anyone to do for themselves. It does help your health. I've particularly read my niche for health because I have been very, very healthy and then all of a sudden wasn't. So I can relate to both of that situations, how to keep healthy and how it went wrong and how I reissued myself to be healthy again. Instead of sitting back and just take whatever people give you. A lot of people do that. They just think, there's a doctor, I'm not saying you shouldn't take them. I'm not advocating any of that. Everything's wonderful, over the board. But if you look at different things and it gives you choices, it makes you more powerful. It gives you, the power to choose. And then you can say to yourself, well, I'm going to do that and that along with, whatever you may do from the doctor or whatever. So I really wish people out there truly would just look at different things, just to give themselves a little bit more knowledge and a little bit more health, because it is achievable with a wee bit more knowledge. And that's what I aim to do just from now on in the future, trying to sort of empower people to improve their self and help themselves with their health, make them better, make them feel a lot better, and it can be done.
So you want to contact Yvonne. Yvonne, how do people get in touch with you?
Well, they can contact me through my email, which is, it's DRYVONNE18@gmail.com. Or they can look me on my website, which is www.enhancingyouhealthcoach.com.
Dr Yvonne Mitchel, thank you very much.
Thank you, Vincent.
So that was a really a fantastic interview with Yvonne, and I'd just like to go over a few things I noted when I was speaking to her, because I think it's really important. And also, I'd recommend that you, once this is on YouTube, once the show's over, rewind that interview back over again, because Yvonne, Dr. Yvonne came up with some really interesting aspects of how to change your life. Now, since the interview, we've been joined by Laura Binney, one of our raconteurs from Fife. Welcome, Laura. And Laura is runs Glass Bullet Media, and she's currently working with SSPCA Animal Charity to help them promote their work against cruelty to animals. And if you saw last week's show, you'll remember I opened the show talking about the subject. So welcome, Laura. And if you're looking for video production in Scotland, check out Glass Bullet Media Productions. And I'm just going to go over some of the points there that Yvonne came up. Now, Yvonne's an inspiring woman. Why is she inspiring to me? Because her motto is "Know thyself." Okay, remember, she left a job. She left a secure job, a job for life, but she said her heart wasn't in it, so she left. And then she said her boss offered her part time. She said, "No, my heart's not in this. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave." Okay, so it's a brave move to leave a job, especially in our system where if you leave a job, you can't. Yeah, it's difficult to claim any kind of unemployment benefit because you voluntarily left a job. That's the system we have. It's really, really hard. And also, we live in a system where once you come out of a job, it's actually really difficult to get back into the job again. It's easier to get another job if you're already in a job. Okay? But Yvonne realised there's more to life than a job. There's more to life than a 9 to 5, just to pay the bills. Okay? We were brought on this earth to do more than that. We were brought on this earth to do things like be creative. Okay? Not we were I don't feel we were brought here to do awful factory jobs or 9 to 5s or things like that. So she decided to go on a journey of learning. And if you remember, she said she did things like color therapy, yoga, um, Reiki, meditation. She started opening up a whole new world to herself, and this was good for her soul, if you like, because her soul really wasn't in the job that she was doing. And she also found mentors, and that's another good thing, is to look for mentors who can offer you help and advice with your path or your business, or mind, body, spirit mentors. I was very much found a lot of mentors in the Theosophical Society, which I used to be in. I'm not really in it anymore, but in my 20s, I used to spend each week down at the Theosophical Society, and I met some amazing mentors who taught me things which I actually infused into my mindfulness course. And of course, the people, when they're doing the course, they didn't really know the source of this information, and I didn't need to tell them it, but some of it was coming through mentors which I had met and no one else has really met. So that's why my mindfulness course was quite unique in some aspects. And again, Yvonne didn't take second best. She wasn't happy just to take any other job. She wanted to do what she wanted to do. So she developed self awareness. Okay, and I'm at university part time, and they teach us what's called critical thinking. And what critical thinking is looking at the choices and making a decision after you've looked carefully and patiently looked at the choices available to you. So what Yvonne did was she stood back and observed and looked, what are the choices available to me so that I can fulfill my life's mission. Okay, and also another thing that came up in our chat was about issues. She mentioned issues. Okay, and it's through self-awareness she was able to identify um, subconscious and past patterns. Like she gave the example of the cat. Why she had a fear of cats? It went back to early childhood. So it's about being able to identify your conscious and your subconscious patterns. If you find that you're being held back in life, or you've got phobias or fear or anxiety, you need to identify these subconscious patterns and change as Yvonne said, change your thoughts, which then changes your behavior. Okay, and allows you to get on with what you want to do in life. And if you don't know how to identify subconscious patterns, behaviors, get in touch with Yvonne. She'll help you to identify these things and help you to lift those blocks from your life so you can achieve more in life and do more. Or if it's anxiety or stress or depression that's stopping you, someone like Yvonne can help you to identify areas that you're maybe not even aware of yourself. So absolutely fascinating interview with Yvonne there, and I recommend that you rewind the tape after the show's over and watch it over and over again to try and pick up more of the details. And of course, you can get in touch with her. We've given you the contact details there. So we're coming to the end of the show, and I'll just fade into my other camera here smoothly. Now that I've put more batteries in the machines. Fresh batteries always helps. We're coming up to the end of the show now. We're going for the sprint finish. And before we say goodbye, I'm going to dial in an image because I'm going to recommend a movie for you, an inspiring movie called I Am Legend, starring Will Smith. Now, the original film was called The Omega Man, and I'd highly recommend, if you can find the original film, it's a really good film as well. But I would say I Am Legend, for me personally, is what I'm going to recommend because it's about Will Smith really portrays the human spirit battling against all sorts of monsters inside your head and also outside of your head as well. And I'm not going to say too much about the movie because I don't want to spoil it for you. Okay, but it's a really good film and it's actually very relevant. And you'll understand why I'm saying that. If you watch it, you'll see it's quite relevant to our current situation. Okay. Now, again, this is science fiction. However, the reason I'm suggesting this film is, again, if you're in the house, if you're in lockdown and you're still not able to get out, one good thing you can do is watch inspiring movies to help lift your spirits. And this is a really good, inspiring film about a character whose spirit is up against. He's dealing with loss, depression, sadness. He's dealing with extreme guilt. He feels that he's responsible for things that are going on, and he feels he needs to fix the problem with the world that's going on. And his only companion is this Alsatian dog, and he just experiences such extreme loss that eventually he experiences what you would call rock bottom. And I don't want to say too much about this movie anymore because I really don't want to give the plot away if you've not seen it. But the other thing I'll say is that the other theme of the film is that if you really need help with something, help does come eventually. It may not come exactly when you want it, and it may come in a shape and form that you don't expect. But that's another aspect of this movie, is that help actually will come if you need it, and if you ask for it, you'll get it. Okay, even if your things seem almost, if it feels like life's not worth going on with. So that's the movie I Am Legend with Will Smith. You can probably get copies in your local charity shop, no problem, for £1 or something, or you can probably download it from the various vendors such as Netflix. Maybe Amazon Prime's got it. I think they might have had it on recently, but it's an excellent film. That's my recommendation for this week. So all that remains for me to say is thanks for watching. Thank you to our guest tonight, Dr. Yvonne Mitchel. Thank you to our raconteurs tonight. We had William Ritchie and Laura Binney. And thank you, our viewers, for watching. Thanks all for spending this time together tonight on the Wellness Show. So, namaste. End of round 15. And we will see you next time with Eric Rainey. So have a good week. Enjoy the sunshine. I think in Scotland, we've got 3 or 4 days of sunshine, so enjoy it. Get yourselves out there. Practice your mindfulness. I hope you enjoyed our exercise tonight, and I hope you enjoyed listening to Dr. Yvonne Mitchel. And I'm off now to watch the Ghosties on the Really channel. So, bye for now. Run credits.